Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a select league match, Southside versus Lenexa. If you're seeing this stream currently, we apologize. We have run into a few technical issues, so the stream may look a little bit differently in terms of what you see on the screen. But please bear with us as we get ready to get this match started. It will be starting here roughly in about a little less than 10 minutes. So be patient with us, and we'll be with you soon. We are actually technically, well, I almost said including last year, but not sure because I had one. There's one where we started a match of 11 at the time. How'd that game go? It was like it was early in the season. We lost by to be on player side,
Oh, I mean, you.
right? Like, so, but because we're both recording and that's also the fan side, there's not
There's
really.
not the other side.
Yeah, yeah. So.
There's not a VIP section for you. I understand. I'm sorry.
Good evening, everybody. If you are just joining us, we apologize for the slightly different setup um, uh, due to some technical issues. So hopefully, I will try to create a situation where you guys can kind of follow along in the game, even though there is not really a score bug that's on the screen. So uh, be patient with us as we are getting this sorted, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. We do want to take this time for you guys to go check out Southside merch. Be sure to head to the website, southsidefckc.com, and click on shop. Get your merch today. I think it's some of the cleanest merch in the league that you'll find out there. It may be personal bias, but I believe that it's fantastic. So go get yours today, and we'd love to see you rocking it at our next home game, which is July 22nd, uh, which we'll be finishing up our match against Olathe. There'll be more on that later. But as you can see here, we are getting ready to start the match here really soon. So we're about, I would say, a minute or two away from kickoff. And this would be the second match that we are getting to play against Lenexa. If you guys were able to tune in or be at the game, it was a big margin of victory for Southside, and they would be looking to do the same today. So we are just getting ready here. We're hoping that this will be a fun match, a great match, and hopefully a safe one. It is hot today. I think it's roughly 90 degrees, and so there will be water breaks. So uh, you may see halfway through the first half the players coming to the side to get a drink of water, just to make sure that they stay hydrated and we keep these players safe. And I'm going to use this opportunity here to try to run through the lineup for you guys and tell you Southside. In goal, we got Miles, and that back line is with Blaylock, Bell, Rainforth, Leonard, and then in the midfield, Marshall, Ramis, Bruckner, and the front line is Tony, Aiden, and Elijah. So, bit of an unusual situation for us today as we get the game started. That We don't seem to have a ton of numbers today, so the 11 that you see on the field is the 11 that we have. So it's going to create a very interesting situation for us. And what is an early foul there created by Elijah as he tried to charge in and get the ball. And a nice little high press there by Southside, trying to make sure that they pin Lenexa back into this corner, make sure that we keep it up in the attacking third. And the ball's thrown in here. Noah causing a situation. Caleb able to retrieve it as he gets out of three and gets out to Ramis, and Ramis is played back to Jay. I apologize, to Jackson. Jackson is out to Hudson. Jackson trying to find his options, and he sees out wide to Noah, and he's able to keep the ball in, but the ball has been missed on a misplayed pass, and we have an early offside flag here. Great job by the back line to keep themselves together. It looks like Hudson really had an eye on that one to make sure that that the Lenexa attacker was going to be in an offside position. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors that really keep the team going. We've got more cabinet out in Leavenworth. If you need cabinetry work, reach out to more cabinet, and they'll get you right. We also want to thank Elite Tech, who is our main sponsor, and also Adegoke Counseling, who helps us and is our mental health sponsor. And with an overlapping run from Noah, and he's unable to reach the ball, but he's continuing to put pressure on the keeper, and he then forces a bad pass with Rami's picking it up, and he's unable to beat his man. And the team is looking pretty good right now. A few misplayed passes, but they are starting to find their rhythm early. And a Southside team that finds its rhythm early is a dangerous one. Looks like ball is out for a Southside throw-in. And Caleb gets a little touch on it. He's unable to, and the keeper will collect that. Kicks it deep. And a little miscommunication, but Hudson is able to collect it, and he's getting there, and he's able to get the ball out, and a foul is being called. Noah able to win the foul, allowing Southside to retain possession for it. Matt with the ball on the far side gets it back to Hudson, and Hudson is able to find Marshall, and Marshall gets out of pressure up to Jackson. Nice little pass there, and what a nicely played ball, but too far out from Tony on the far side. Ramis is wandering in the midfield, tries to play it through, and flag does go up on Aiden. Ball is being thrown in. Caleb wins the first ball. Ramis picks up the second. and is unable to retain it. Lenexa plays the ball out, and Matt makes his way all the way to the far side, just allowing that ball to roll out. It will be a Southside throw. Oh, and a nice little flick by Elijah into the path of Ramis, and Ramis is able to put it away for 1-0. Great teamwork, especially from that initial ball from Caleb. It looks like Caleb into Elijah, and Elijah just playing a nice little cheeky flick, and Rami is able to slide it in down to the keeper's left. And we are off once again with Southside up 1-0 with a goal by Ramis. And an early yellow card. Lenexa trying to hold Caleb up, and stopping a promising attack will earn him a yellow card. Nice free kick here. Looks like roughly about 25 yards out. Ramis to take it. And Ramis with a powerful strike, but right into the wall. Lenexa wall definitely did its job, but is unable to keep possession. And Matt has it on the far side. He plays the ball in, and it gets deflected. And Southside still able to retain possession. And Marshall decides to kick it out to Noah. And Noah is looking at his options. What does he see? He sees he sees Aiden. Aiden spinning around, breaking through, weaving, and he gets to the byline, and he's able to get to it. He's unable to keep it in, and that will be out for a goal kick to Lenexa. Lenexa is finding themselves they are finding themselves breaking through. This is their first attack of the game here, and as they're crossing the ball in, and Miles is able to collect it easily and calmly. Rami's getting it out wide to Noah. Noah looking for his options, plays it through to Aiden, and Caleb receives it, and he just can't control it completely. And it goes out for a Lenexa throw. As they're Southside trying to apply pressure and win the ball here. Lenexa's gonna retain possession here. Elijah's chasing down the pass. And there, Ramis is able to help Elijah out. And a little bit of a scuffle and a no call that happened here. It looked like the referee was able to put the whistle to his mouth and decided not to blow. Don't know necessarily what he was thinking in terms of the thought process, but it was almost certain that he would have blown for a foul. Pressure by Lenexa, and it looks like a little bit of a trip situation that had occurred there, allowing Southside to keep the ball. Nice passing between Caleb and Marshall, able to keep the ball out of pressure and out of danger, allowing the team to find its shape. And Tony receives it on a long ball from Noah, and in a weird situation, which I thought would have been a foul, but is not called for a foul. And a loose ball that comes, and Caleb picks it up and he plays it out to Elijah. And Elijah was not on his toes, was not able to read that. Otherwise, it probably would have been a clear opportunity on goal for sure. And Hudson once again stepping in, making sure that he gets that tackle in.
Covers.
Once again, we apologize for not having our normal stream here. So if you're just joining us, it is 1-0. Southside has the lead on a nice little flick from Elijah to Rami's, and Rami's able to put it away comfortably. Um, so yeah, if you're just tuning in, again, Southside leading 1-0. We're about 10 to 12 minutes into the match here. And Caleb is able to flick it to Tony, and Tony is chasing that on. And is he able to get to it? And he is, and he is unable to control it well enough. And it looks like he did have an option of Aiden across the box, but he is unable to control it to make that pass to him. Southside wins the first ball there, and it goes out. And Lenexa trying to find their opportunities with a misplayed pass across the field, resulting in a Southside throw. Caleb gets it with a nice little flick over the defender, but is unable to keep control of it. Lenexa winning it. Hudson wins the second ball. Southside is able to keep possession of it. Nice pass by Jackson, able to beat the pressure. Lenexa winning the ball here, and a long ball down, and Lenexa is unable to keep possession. Southside wins it back. Marshall looking for his options. And Tony finds Rami centrally so easily, and Noah trying to make that run. Noah in an unusual position, being that high up the field. That's just unnormal. And Tony is covering for that position. The ball does go out of play from the keeper's kick there. And a nice little acrobatic attempt by Rami's to keep the ball moving. Did not quite come off, but if that happens, that's got to be spectacular, obviously. Hudson is finding Aiden in the midfield as he plays it back out to Matt. Matt tries to find his options, decides to go back to Hudson. No, Noah's unable to find options and decides to go back. And eventually Miles does boot it up the field. Lenexa winning the first ball and the second. Are they able to keep possession here? And it looks like they are to make that pass out wide. Noah is trying to make the challenge here as he holds up the Lenexa player. And we're forcing him back. Caleb is applying a little bit of pressure. And it looks like a foul has been called. Lenexa having their first set piece of the match. And what would be their second opportunity of the match here if they're able to create something from this. Ball's played in, and Miles is able to come out and is able to punch it out in a little bit of a collision, and it looks like a Lenexa player is down in the corner. Those situations, they are not necessarily comfortable when you're in the air and you're a little bit vulnerable to someone coming up from an opposing direction. Can be a little bit painful, but he seems to be all right. Noah's pass misplaced as Lenexa is able to keep possession. Ball is out for a Lenexa throw. Tony opts to kick it out. Caleb won the first ball. Tony had won the second and the foul. Nice simple ball in from Marshall to Caleb. Caleb was looking at his options, and the ball is too heavy to Elijah. Noah wins the misplaced pass, plays it into Tony, and Tony is unable to lay it off how he wanted. Lenexa is having a counter here. Is Southside able to get bodies back? And it looks like they are. Ball is being played to the far side. Matt able to make the initial tackle, wins the second tackle, but is unable to keep the pass in play. And Lenexa is having an opportunity here, trying to play the ball across. Hudson makes the initial block. The ball is being played in, and a Lenexa defender is almost all by himself as he backs heels it. And a shot on goal, and it's in. A nice little movement there by Lenexa as they find the open man on the far side, curling it in, and Miles is unable to get a hand to it. And you've got to wonder what happened there a little bit in terms of the defending. Southside not knowing who they're covering at the moment. That puts us level at 1-1. After about 20 minutes of play here, you would have to think that Southside has become a little bit stagnant. Still had Matt making a breakthrough, and he plays the ball across and is unable to as it gets blocked. Southside has been a little bit stagnant despite the opportunities that they've had. A few miscommunications, a situation of some players a little bit out of position. So this is, by some regards, you might say a little bit of a makeshift team, but a team that's still capable of competing. But credit to Lenexa, they've dug in, they've defended well, they've found their opportunities. They haven't been many, but to create an opportunity and a chance, and on their first shot, all match for it to be a goal. Credit to them for fighting right now. Lenexa unable to keep the ball. Southside wins it back. Marshall into Caleb. Caleb is looking at Tony, and Tony wins it, and he plays it through to Ramis. And he gets it through to Tony, and Tony, did he play it across? And he does, and Tony plays it across. He gets it to Aiden, and Aiden on the back post just simply knocks it in. And an offside call. Not sure who was being called off, but the score stays level at 1-1. Bit of confusion from the players, and even the Southside bench trying to wondering who's off. The game stays level. Ramis wins the ball back after the misplayed pass. Tony does well to keep it, and he finds Marshall centrally with all kinds of time, and he looks at his options. Decides to opt it out for a simple pass to Ramis. Caleb out to Hudson. Hudson out to Matt. Matt is going down the sideline and loses it, but a deflection creates a situation where it looks like it will be a Lenexa throw. And it looks like we'll have a water break here, so we'll take these players will take about a 1 to 2 minute break here to get some water in them. It is hot. It has cooled off a little bit, but it's still about 87 degrees. So we definitely want to make sure that these players stay hydrated. As we kind of take a look at about the first 25 minutes of the match, it's been primarily all Southside, but you got to say there's been a lot of loose passes in the midfield on both ends, really. And Southside still seems to have a bulk of the attack, and credit to Lenexa finding their opportunity to be able to find their shot, find their opportunity, having three attacking opportunities, really one resulting in a shot, and that singular shot did go in. So we are at the water break level 1-1. So and other notable moments just before the water break, there was an offside call on a goal that kind of left Southside a little stunned. So it would have been an opportunity to be a goal up, but again, it stays level at 1-1. And about 30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds here, we'll have these players back in the field, and we'll get going again. That's why As we're back here, Jackson trying to find a pass, and he does, and he's able to find Aiden found Rami's pretty quickly, and he's able to stay on his feet, but unable to keep the ball, and looks like a little bit of a nudge, and able to win the foul. If you're just joining us tonight, we want to welcome you to the Select League match, Southside versus Lenexa, as the score right now is level 1-1. And on a hot night here, we apologize if the stream looks a little different than normal. Obviously, a few technical difficulties, but we appreciate you being here, and we will try to keep you up to date as the stream goes on. Rami's just taking a moment. It looks like to tie his shoe here. In the meantime, it looks like Southside and Lenexa are trying to get set on what they're wanting to do. Rami's is now ready to take the kick. Plays the ball back towards the back post. Ball hops over. Marshall made the initial play on the ball, but is unable to keep it. And Jackson wins the misplayed pass and played it to Hudson. Hudson out to Aiden, and Aiden to Matt. Matt plays a dangerous ball in, and a nice reaction save by the keeper, but it is being called off. Lenexa finding their opportunities here. Jackson makes the initial block on the ball, and Noah making the foul, giving Lenexa an opportunity to move up the field. Long ball in. Hudson winning the initial ball. Noah and Caleb winning the second and third opportunities. Lenexa unable to keep it. And Elijah's fighting to win it back. Lenexa playing the ball back in order to keep possession. And they're able to keep possession. Caleb applying pressure, unable to get it. And a missed touch by the Lenexa player. But Jackson is unable to win the ball. And an opportunity, their second shot of the game, and it's their second goal, slotted right by Miles pretty simply. And that is 2-1 Lenexa. You'd have to say a very weird turn of events. And Elijah's able to keep the ball in a little scuffle there. Marshall out wide to Noah. And Jackson is unable to keep the ball, and the pace of the player, he's gotten beat. And Miles is able to make the initial save. And the ball finds itself rolling in, and it is a 3-1 lead to Lenexa. What is going on from a Southside perspective? They are just unable to collect themselves and find a rhythm at all. As they say, games are never won on paper. Credit to Lenexa as they fight. They are finding their opportunities, and they have been clinical today. Every shot has turned into a goal. And a ball over the top, and as it found its way in, and a nice goal line clearance by Lenexa to keep it 3-1. Corner is taken. Marshall wins the initial header, unable to get to it, and tries to get another kick at it and is unable to. Next, still leads 3-1, of which you would think that maybe it might be 3-3 at this moment, where a couple offside calls did happen for Southside that resulted in goals being called back. So we are here now. It's 3-1. Southside continues to play. And a ball, and the ball hits the post as they're almost getting it, and we get the rebound. Ramis is trying to win it, and it looks like he's going to get the call. It looks like what might have been a shoulder in the back. Not really sure what happened, but the ref had a clear view and took a second before he blew, and is able to win the ball there and the penalty. And we're getting a no penalty call here as the refs took time to deliberate. It's a weird situation here, but the call is being called back despite the center calling for a penalty. He went to go talk to his RA, his AR, and he's calling it back. And Lenexa is getting a boost from that. Just regardless of the 3-1 the lead that they've got right now, they are seeing a boost. Tony's unable to keep the ball. And Tony gets it out to Ramis, and Ramis plays it through very simply to Aiden, and Aiden is cutting it back and takes a shot, and what a fantastic save by the Lenexa keeper. Nice reflexes to win it, and Elijah's able to keep the ball into play, and he's unable to keep it into play, and that will go out for a goal kick. Lenexa is having their attack here. Apologize for the silence on the stream there for a moment. Lenexa is finding possession here, retaining the ball, and Southside is unable to win the tackle there. Ball into the box on the backside. Lenexa winning the ball, but unable to get it on target. It'll be a Southside goal kick. Hudson unable to retain the ball, and the ball gets pickpocketed from him, but he does make up for it by providing the initial challenge. Matt is able to keep the ball in, and as he moves down the field, plays the ball deep, and it gets called back. It looks like the ball might have gone out, and Matt is going to get a yellow for questioning the ref there. Not sure what might have been said, but he's definitely receiving a yellow. Southside getting the throw. If you're just tuning in right now, Lenexa is in the lead 3-1 at the moment, finding the back of the net on all three shots that they've had. The only three shots in the game they have put in the back of the net. On the other side of the fields for Southside, they have had 2 goals disallowed as well. So you could almost say that it's potentially in some regards, a game that should be a little closer in the scoreline than it actually is. But credit to Lenexa, they have dug deep and found their moments to create opportunities for attack. Jackson has the ball and he's looking for options and opts to go for Noah. And he finds Caleb barely. Matt is unable to play through, but he does find Caleb. And he plays Aiden down the line, and Aiden is able to play it wide. And a nice little goal by Elijah as he gets the cross from Aiden and simply taps it in to make it 3-2. A goal back. Lenexa leads. Handball being called there. Again, Lenexa leading 3-2. Jackson applying pressure, forcing the Lenexa player to go backwards. And we are trying to press high to win the ball high up the pitch, really making it difficult for Lenexa. But they seem to be finding the pockets today. And an overlapping run that gets beat, and Noah makes they're trailing back and is able to make the Lenexa player misplace the pass, and Matt wins it. And he decides to play it into Aiden, and Aiden gets a touch on it. And he plays it over the top to Aiden as Aiden is onside and really get an opportunity and a handball, and it's in the box, it looks like. And his hand is away from the body, and we can see from over here, but he does ultimately call for a penalty after a lot of yelling from Southside bench and players. A crazy situation where the ref took a moment to think about that, and this penalty looks like it will stand. And if you missed earlier moments, there was a penalty that Southside was awarded, and ultimately they ended up deciding against it due to the recommendation of the AR. All players being confused on that first penalty given, because some would say that it looked like a foul, but alas, here we are. Penalty. Rami steps up and puts it away. We are 3-3. We are level once again, and this is game on. And Tony trying to create a shot there and is unable to, and it looks like it will be called a goal kick. Noah winning the ball. Marshall wins the ball from the throw-in. Plays it out to Hudson. And a misplayed pass on the through ball there. Oh, a nice ball and a misjudged pass there. And Jackson does well to create a situation where he can win it back, but misplays it and is unable to, and makes up for it on the deflection. And Miles is able to collect it before it goes out of play. And a ball gets through, and it looks like Ramis is able to keep it as he travels through, and he opts to play it to Caleb, making a run on the outside, and ball being played to the corner. Tony is able to get to it, keeps it in, sees his option, plays it across, and is blocked, and it will go out for a corner kick.
I was friends with people picking up the lyrics. They were weird. Neymar. That's my guy. I can't even. Neymar's my guy.
And the corner's being played short. Rami's lifting the ball in, and Jackson missing the initial header. And the ball trails through, and that will be halftime there as it's level at 3-3 going into the half. Bear with us a minute as we're going to take a break here, and we'll come back in a moment with some halftime thoughts. to get started. It has cooled down considerably, so it's you'd say better soccer weather, if you will. As Lenexa will get ready to kick off the second half, it is 3-3 to start the half. Second half getting started here. Referee takes a look at his whistle and he blows, and we are underway with the second half, and it is level at 3-3 currently. No changes by Southside. Southside doesn't have a bench today, unfortunately, so the 11 that is out is the 11 that will play the game. So if anything does happen, and early pressure there with a boot and a ball over the top for Lenexa. Jackson fighting to make sure he wins the ball back, and he does. And he does get it out for a goal kick. Well done by Jackson to able to fend off the defender, or the attacker, creating a great opportunity to make sure that we retain possession here. And Caleb with a nice little move to beat the man. And he looks and he sees wide and he gets Aiden. He's able to make the run there and opts not to return it back to Caleb, but does play Matt. Matt sees Rami's on and leaves it, and Elijah left the. Oh, what a fantastic save by the Lenexa keeper! You've great movement there and a nice reset for Southside as they find opportunities to play 1-2s to get the ball around. And a ball across the box, and it finds its way into the net. And it looks like that was Rami's into Tony. This is now 4-3, and Southside is taking the lead for the second time in this match. And we are underway once again. Southside with the lead 4-3 in a high-scoring game, but for Southside matches, those are unusual whatsoever. If you've watched us a couple times or you've been a fan since the beginning, you know that goals are inevitable in a Southside match, and Aiden is applying pressure, unable to win it, but Tony wins the initial ball, is unable to win the second, makes the challenge, forcing Lenexa to play backwards. And they have Lenexa trying to play the ball up the field and is unable to. Noah had wanted. So Hudson moving up the field, plays it to Marshall. Marshall finds Caleb in the midfield with all kinds of time and space and takes it and plays Aiden with a little chip and is unable to get in front of the ball. But again, we're keeping the pressure on. Get the ball through with a nice little play from Ramis into Tony and a nice kick save by the Lenexa keeper. He is on one today. Regardless of the scoreline, he has been fantastic, having some very much point blank saves all game that just are absolutely have been incredible. Fantastic performance in terms of shot stopping, and is definitely keeping Lenexa in this game with the amount of shots he has saved today. Ramis plays it to Noah. Noah finds Marshall. And Jackson finding Caleb in the midfield. A nice little chip to see. And he has time and space, and he takes on the man and looks like he beats him to the byline and finds an opportunity, plays it across the box, and it is a goal. Caleb into Elijah. And that is Elijah's second on the day. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, again, we apologize for the stream. It's been a little bit of a weird technical difficulty. So right now, it is Southside 5, Lenexa 3. That is the score at the current moment. Ramis with 2 goals, Elijah with 2 goals, and Tony with 1 at the moment for Southside. Southside definitely finding their rhythm. Early moments in the game where they were a little bit discombobulated, had gone up early within the first 10 minutes, and a Lenexa equalizing on their first opportunity, creating it to be 1-1. Then a couple disallowed goals for Southside, which should have been 3-1, but in turn, as the game played on and those goals were disallowed, Lenexa would find opportunity, scoring on all 2 of their opportunities after that. So it was 3-1 at one point with the Lenexa lead, and since then it's been all Southside as they've regained composure, especially since the start of the second half. They have found their rhythm once again and are creating problems for Lenexa. And it looks like a foul's being called there in favor of Southside. Ramis is lining up to take the free kick here. And a ball in deep, and the keeper does make an easy collection of it. And a long ball being played through, and it was unable to be completed by Lenexa. Rami's winning it and trying something similar. Pass does not get through. Creates a challenge, trying to win it back, and Lenexa is retaining possession. They are fighting to keep this ball. They are still in the game despite being down by 2 goals. A nice little ball being played in centrally. Hudson there able to make the challenge. And Hudson is questioning if he should be getting a foul, but no call by the AR. Hudson sees the nice little long ball into the midfield. Nice touch by Aiden. And Aiden blazes by as he is finding his opportunity. Elijah on the back post. Is he going to play it across? And that he tries to, and is unable to get it, but does get it through on a solo run. That is a goal. That is 6 goals for today so far. That is 6-3 at this current juncture. Aiden on a nice little run there for about 40 yards or so.
78, 40. Oh, give me 1 second. Where are we standing?
And we are underway 6-3 to Southside. And a turn of events that they finally found their rhythm, especially early in the second half. And a ball gets through, and Jackson misplaying the opportunity as Lenexa is finding an opportunity this half, and then a fantastic save by Miles as he reads it to push it wide. And the corner comes in. Caleb winning the initial. Looks like Aiden is able to win the second and is able to keep possession as he beats the man initially and is unable to keep it. Lenexa wins it back. And a nice ball being played into the box, and the next defender will be shielded out, and Southside will win themselves a goal kick. Lenexa having an opportunity here with a long range shot. It finds itself going wide. Looks like here Lenexa is going to be making their third substitution of the match, as we are still relatively early in the second half here. Jackson playing the long ball, not able to find its intended target, but looks like Lenexa ends up knocking it out, and Southside has a throw in. keeping possession. Caleb is running through and is able to keep it, and somehow it still stays stuck to his foot. And as he makes that run, and Tony is going to be called for offside. Looks like Elijah trying to apply a little bit of pressure, trying to force a turnover, help us win the ball up the field. Marshall is able to make the win and has a slightly wide pass out to Aiden, but it looks like Aiden is able to keep it in bounds as he's going to cross the ball in, and it is collected by the keeper, and he is going to opt to move quickly as Lenexa is trying to create a quick counterattack situation, and they have pace on the outside that they decide not to. And Ramis is going to pickpocket and keep the ball at his feet somehow, and finds Aiden. Aiden looks and ball across, and similar results where he is going to find the keeper instead of a Southside player in the box. Hudson wins the first, but Southside's unable to keep the second. Ball is played out wide as Matt is running back. Hudson is going to make the challenge instead, creates a situation, and a misplayed cross that Miles comfortably gobbles that could have ended up in the net on accident if not careful. Rami's unable to win the ball. Lenexa retaining possession as they keep counter. Caleb with the initial block, and it's going to go out for a Lenexa corner. Once again, just to kind of remind everyone the score here, Southside is leading 6-3 in what was a bizarre start to a match from a Southside perspective. But again, high scoring game isn't really unusual to Southside at all. Moments that occurred in the match. First, with Southside scoring a goal, and then equalizing later. About 15 minutes into the match, Lenexa found themselves level at 1-1. Southside then having 2 goals disallowed for an offside call, one being very, very questionable. And Lenexa would go on to score 2 more on rare attacking opportunities that they would have. And this corner goes in, and Hudson makes the initial header on the ball, and it goes out for a throw-in. So again, Lenexa was leading 3-1 at one point, and in a bizarre call, a PK did get called for Southside, and it looked like the ref originally had a great line looking at that call when he made it, but on the recommendation of the AR, they did call that. They did deny the penalty, but it wouldn't matter at that point because about 5 minutes later, we would score 2 more goals before the half, so we went in 3-3. And Elijah winning the ball and is able to play it out to Tony, and Tony is making that run, and he is unable to keep the ball. He is unable to keep the ball in that attack, but another dangerous opportunity. And since halftime, it's really been all Southside. Southside scoring 3 goals in the early part of the second half to really make it 6-3 at this current juncture in the proceedings of the match. Ramis wins it, plays a nice little chip over the defender, keeping the ball, and not sure what the ref saw there, but he is calling either a foul, maybe a handball. Looks like handball is what's being called. And this is going to be a dangerous free kick. Let's see who's going to line up here. Not sure. Looks like Rami's or Marshall. They're both lining up there, but it looks like it might be Rami's that may take this kick. We're about 20 to 22 yards out here, so Rami's is very good here. So this could end up in the back of the net potentially. And he does put it on, and he does put it in the back of the net. Simply class with how he took that. More accuracy than power. Place it away from the keeper. It looked like it bounced just before the keeper, which he wasn't able to reach it. Rami's on a beautiful free kick to make it 7-3 Southside.
89.
And we are underway once again, 7-3 Southside on a beautiful free kick from Rami's as he finds the opportunity to place it in the bottom left-hand corner of the goal from about 20 yards out roughly. And Elijah is able to make the pressure and forcing the keeper to put it out to boot it. And there's a little scuffle for the ball there, and it looks like it does go out for a Southside throw-in. Jackson is unable to take the ball. Miles reads it well, throws it long, or kicks it long. Caleb is able to pick up the loose ball and is able to turn away from two defenders around him and pick it up back in the midfield on a nice little 1-2 with Rami's. Does play it through the sliding Lenexa defender, does make a touch on it, thus creating a situation where he kicks it out for a Southside throw. Looks like Lenexa is unable to retain possession of the ball with a misplayed pass and stopping their promising attack there. And a nice little 1-2 with Tony, and Tony is blazing through in on goal. And will he finish it? And what a fantastic save. Fantastic save by the keeper. He has been having very, very good moments there in goal with some incredible saves. Credit to him. And Aiden plays it across, unable to get it to its intended target, and it's out top of the box. Caleb with the left-footed shot, and it's going to ricochet out for a Southside throw. Again, the score today at this current point in the second half, it is Southside 7 with Lenexa 3. Credit to Lenexa. They are still fighting. They have not lost hope in this match. They have found moments of retaining possession and really playing out of pressure. So credit to them today that they've really been fighting hard. They've been trying to find their moments. Southside was a little bit slow to find their feet, especially in the middle part of the first half, leading into the latter part of the first half. But once the score became level at close to halftime, it's been just about all Southside here. And Matt is able to keep the ball. I apologize. Noah is trying to keep the ball and is unable to, and still applying pressure to make sure that we win it back. And Caleb not opting to apply pressure, waiting for the keep to play it out. Lenexa finding that pocket in the midfield as he's playing it through. And will they, another rare opportunity with a decent long ball in the box, and Matt is able to head it out pretty comfortably, but Lenexa picks it up. And it looks like a coming together, and ref is going to call no foul with a little Maradona in midfield from Caleb to keep possession, and Noah is unable to keep it. Instead, is being told to create a foul, and it looks like the ref is going to call for a water break here. Just to catch you guys up to speed once again, 7-4 is 7-3 is the current score. Southside leads early moments in the first half, where it was 1-1 in the early part of the first half. Eventually, with some disallowed goals for Southside. And eventually Lenexa was able to go up 3-1, and really that was the last of their scoring so far. It has been all Southside since then, since about the latter half of the first half, where it is now 7-3. Most recent goal was scored by Aiden. Some great opportunities here that Southside has been creating to make sure that they are comfortably in the lead here. Still a lot of work to do. Still about 20 minutes to play. I apologize, 15 minutes to play. So still a lot of game left. Game is not done and dusted, but you've got to say that they're feeling pretty comfortable. We're gonna also take a short break along on the water break here, and we'll be back with you in about 60 seconds or so. We are back with the water break from the water break with a free kick in from Lenexa, a misplayed kick from Marshall hitting the uprights of the field goal, and this will be a Lenexa corner. A corner in, looks like it's blocked out by Rami's, and it'll go out for a throw. And Matt makes the first clearance, but it's unable to go that far. Ramiz makes the challenge, wins it, but is unable to retain possession of the ball. But he is still fighting for it, and ultimately loses out in that duel. Lenexa trying to find their opportunity. Caleb wins the ball and the foul, and it looks like it will be the stopping of a promising attack. So it will be a yellow card to the Lenexa player. And Southside trying to have a quick attacking opportunity, but it does get called back. It will have to be on the referee's whistle, considering that he did issue a yellow. Marshall plays it into Hudson to get us started again. And Matt finds Tony. Tony opting to go inside. Ramiz is going to keep possession, sees the ball, sees Aiden out wide, but does not play it well. And he does apologize to Aiden, knowing that he misplayed that pass. And a long kick by the Lenexa keeper. Hudson winning the initial. Rami's winning the second. Tony then getting control of it. And the AR put his flag up, calling over the center. Not sure what the call is for, what he's calling him over for. Oh, it looks like there is a player down, so that's what the situation is, and there will be a substitution. And Lenexa is going to make the last of their substitutions. This is number 4 and 5. And if you can see there, number 7 for Lenexa that is entering the field, former South player Franco, taking the field against his former club. Good to see him on the field again. And just waiting to hear from or to see what the ref is going to do here. It looks like it will be a drop ball for Southside, and he calls it. Marshall is going to play it in quick to Tony. Tony plays the quick ball into Ramiz, and Ramiz has all kinds of space, and he decides to cut in and takes the shot, and it hits the outside of the post, and it goes out for a goal kick. A great, powerful shot to the keeper's right near post, and is unable to see the inside of the post. Otherwise, that could have been another goal. Score stays 7-3. Southside leading. Oh, and it's a little careful there. Once you kind of get off the edge of the pitch, there's some concrete there. So if these players don't stop quick enough, it's a little bit of a hazard. So we want to make sure that the players are okay and safe as they're trying to stop their momentum. Marshall finding Matt outside, and he plays a nice ball into Aiden and is unable to get a touch on it. And the AR on the far side is going to call for an offside. But fantastic ball from Matt just to try to pick out Aiden. Incredible vision to split it between the center. Look what was, I believe, the center back and the fullback there. But ultimately being called offside.
You know the funniest thing? No one would have known had they just in that moment. Nobody would have had it. Well, person at the company who was not promoted to the ladies position who was standing next to me.
Come to find out, she's been going everywhere. The HR person. She's her assistant.
Now she has her job.
As we get reset here, Elijah winning the initial tackle is able to play it out to Aiden. Aiden is dribbling in and he's going to take a shot. It is blocked. Aiden tried to play it off to Ramis, who is at the top of the box, unable to. Caleb makes a challenge, wins the ball, and he sees an opportunity and he does win a foul. And we're trying to see, is it at the top of the box? And it will be a yellow card because that is stopping a promising attack from the referee's vantage point. But a foul outside the box won by Caleb. No, the posting went up. It was either the concert and the recording went up. I did get it.
And you know, it's so funny. At first, they're like, and then they started actually trying to go with it. They're like, they're definitely having
And Marshall with the free kick, and it finds itself in the wall, and Aiden tries to collect it, and ultimately the kick is good, but that is the wrong sport altogether. 3 points. 3 points to Aiden. All jokes aside, obviously the ball going high, so it will be a Lenexa goal kick here.
Looking at 3 minutes on. I mean, I don't know how well I got in, but
It looks like Jackson's going to let that ball roll out here. Marshall is able to get on the throw, but is unable to keep the possession. Lenexa opting to go all the way back to their keeper to make sure that they keep the ball. And winning the ball, Marshall did, and is unable to, but it deflects back to him and is able to simply get it out to Ramis. Ramis will keep possession as he is being challenged for the ball. Barely getting it through to Jackson. And Jackson is able to find Tony. Tony with loads of time in the midfield. Nice simple layoff to Ramis, and he beats his man. And it does go out wide to Noah. Southside throw on the far side. Hudson is able to beat his man in front of him, dribbling into the midfield, and is comfortably able to find Tony out wide to Matt that he sees, and is Matt going to cross this in, and he is not able to put his foot through it. Lenexa collects it very easily. And Elijah is applying some quick pressure here. And it is going to be called out here. It'll be a Southside throw. Unable to tell if it really did go all the way out. Quick throw. Found Rami centrally. He's able to turn away from the defender. Plays it out wide to Matt. Matt plays a strong ball across to the top of the box, able to find Caleb, and Caleb flusts his lines, and it will go out for a Lenexa goal kick. Ball. Tony does challenge, but the ref is going to call a foul there. He believes that he impeded him, or maybe even stepped on his foot. So it will be a foul given, and Lenexa will get us restarted here. A ball being played in, and Miles collects it very easily, and he will just simply slow it down a little bit here. And it was close. Shot was close, but it does go out for a Southside goal kick. Hudson received it on the goal kick, played it into Ramiz. Ramiz is beating two men that are on him at the moment, plays it back out to Hudson, and found Tony up the line. Tony is deciding to go into the midfield, and a challenge occurred, creating a foul. Southside will welcome the free kick with the amount of pressure that was being applied. Ramiz is playing a long ball up across the top. Elijah winning the initial header and is unable to get to the ball because it trailed just too far ahead from him, and Lenexa keeper picks it up, rolls it out quickly on a quick counter attack to see if they can get an opportunity going, but it looks like Lenexa is going to opt to keep possession and move it up the pitch slowly rather than a quick counter attack. Lenexa losing the ball in the midfield. Caleb wins it, and Caleb is dribbling in the midfield as he finds Tony running across the line, and it looks like a handball did occur by Lenexa, and that handball is going to result in a yellow because that did stop an attack that was going to occur, and we have a free kick opportunity from about 30 yards out. Rami's to take it. As he lifts it over the line and almost found Tony, the next defender is able to get in front of it right just at the top of the 6-yard box. Mac takes the throw in, finds Tony. Tony found Rami's in the end centrally, but he plays it out to Matt. Matt is going to opt to play for possession, finds Hudson. Hudson finds Caleb in the midfield, and it's going to switch to the far side. Nowhere receives the ball. Finds Aiden. Aiden beats his man down the line, and Noah was making a lung-busting run to try to get on the end of an underlapping run. Aiden receives it at the top of on a challenge that he wins it at the top of the box, played it in, and Marshall almost at the end of a header that just finds itself going high and wide. Almost another opportunity for a goal. We still are at 7-3 Southside lead. Since Rami's free kick, the game has not had quite the same kind of punishing threat that Southside had at the beginning of the second half, which is okay at this point. They're kind of finding themselves in a commanding lead, and are probably going to be okay with that as we look to retain possession. Miles had received the ball and opted to play out to Jackson, and Jackson dribbling the ball up on the far side and finds Noah, and Noah's going to play it back to Miles, and Southside's just okay to play it out the back here. Caleb here on the near side receives the ball and sees Rami's making a run through the middle, and it doesn't quite get there. A Lenexa deflection does favor Rami's, and Rami's does opt to try to go through the keeper's legs, and he missed, but he does play it wide, or he does play it centrally to Elijah. Apologies, and Elijah does put it in the back of the net. This making it 8-3, Southside leading. A little bit of a fortuitous bounce. Uh, the initial pass was there, but a fortuitous bounce as Lenexa tried to defend it, but it still found its intended target. And Rami's dribbling through, missing the initial shot through the keeper's leg because the keeper with a nice initial save, but receives the rebound, and Rami's is able to play it across the box into Elijah. Elijah actually getting a hat trick today, I believe. Uh, yes, that is a hat trick for him. So great display today all around from the Southside team, and in a situation where they rallied from 3-1 down.
113.
And Southside after the kickoff with an attempt at an attack from Lenexa. Southside ended up winning the ball back, and we are creating 1-2 situations in the midfield. And Hudson is making a run, a really nice pressing run. He wanted an opportunity to attack, but he does not get that. But this game is going to end with Southside 8, Lenexa 3. Credit to Lenexa because they did fight hard to the end, creating a lot of opportunities for themselves in this match in a situation that really could have gone anywhere if you really stayed for the full, were able to watch the full stream. Early moments in the first half where it was level at one point from about 15 minutes in, Lenexa finding the lead in the middle of the first half, but Southside finding composure to score 3 goals before the end of the match. Before the end of the half. Then going into the second half, scoring 3 early. Rami's with a beautiful free kick midway through the second half. Aiden getting on the net, and Elijah getting his hat trick today to make it 8-3. So great team performance all around, a great opportunity to find moments to rally together and really make sure that they win in a situation where they had no subs. There was no opportunity to refresh. Great game as it finishes 8-3 Southside victory. And before we get out of here today, we definitely want to make sure that we make you aware of our match on Tuesday against Olathe. This is the continuation of our match from last Friday, where it got weathered out due to lightning. Special circumstances surrounding that match, just so that you all are aware. We will be going into that match down 1-0 just due to playing about 6 minutes into the match. And those 6 minutes found Olathe an opportunity to score. So from the sixth into the 7th minute, it will start from that point forward. Southside will be playing that match down a goal. So do keep that in mind if you do watch the stream or you're going to attend the match. But apart from that, this has been a good night for the team. We appreciate you guys watching the stream. We appreciate you understanding the technical difficulties that we've gone through. But apart from that, it has been a great night, and we will catch you guys again at the next one. Good night.
We should have a little
Our-
something later.
Yeah, so you can stand up a little higher. Rami's great performance today. I believe it's 3 assists. I think 2 goals. I believe 2 goals. Uh, Fantastic free kick here. Tell us what was going through your head when you were trying to create that opportunity for yourself.
Well, that was my second free kick of the day, and the first one didn't go that well in the first half. So what I try to do is put it on the farthest post of the goalie, and lucky for us, it went in right on the edge of the post.
I want to kind of drift back to the first half here a little bit. Rocky start, obviously 2 disallowed goals, and the Lenexa finding themselves up. What was going through your head? What was the feel of the team or the team talk in the moment to really rally together to get back into the lead?
Yeah, like you say, it was really disappointed getting scored 3 goals right after the water break, but we managed to come back. We scored another 2 goals, and then we went to second half with a 3-3 scoreboard, and we ended up finding the net on the second half plenty times.
Awesome. And looking into our next match, we're going to be playing Olathe. Uh, what is the thought going into that game? Because it's going to be a little bit of a weird situation. We are going into that game 1 goal down. It got delayed due to weather. What's the mentality of the team to make sure that we can get level and continue on to win?
Work. That team has shown us that there's a team to beat this year in the season, and we have the players, we have the squad to actually perform well, and I think we're able to win that game.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I know that we had presented you player of the match, so just want to make sure that everybody at home knew. But we appreciate your contribution to the team today,
Thank you.
and we will catch you in the next match here on Tuesday.
Perfect.
Thanks.
You Eagle.
All right, let's. Did Elijah disappear? Yeah, we're good.